Many of you don't know who Omar Suleiman is. He is an American imam who gives motivational talks all across the globe. Canada, the UK, Turkey, Malaysia, Qatar. He has millions of social media followers, and recently he was declared one of the top 500 most influential Muslims in the world. In the past, he's been selected to give prayers in the US Congress. He has given speeches for presidential candidates, and he's even joined hands in prayer with former presidents and war criminals like George W. Bush and Barack Obama. He is president and founder of Yaqeen Institute for Islamic Research, which is a multi-million-dollar online institute that creates essays, infographics, and videos and disseminates that to Muslims all across the globe. Myself and others have extensively criticized Omar Suleiman and Yaqeen Institute for things like promoting liberalism, feminism, LGBT acceptance, promoting things like Darwinian evolution, and trying to pass off these things as Islamically acceptable to the Muslim community. Last week, I came across pictures and video of Omar Suleiman at a 2018 protest for migrant rights, and I was absolutely shocked and disgusted. So I reposted those pictures on my social media, and many of you who saw those things were also shocked and disgusted. Here was a prominent imam not only attending but leading a protest surrounded by LGBT supporters wearing rainbow flags. You had one care director, Zahra Billu, getting blessed by a LGBT priestess. You had another care director, Hossam Ayloush, who was taking smiling selfies with these female priestesses wearing rainbow flags. Another prominent imam, Zaid Shakir, was there surrounded by gospel singers and LGBT supporters. In my post, I asked, how is any of this acceptable? As he's done many times in the past, Omar Suleiman was quick to play innocent, defending and reaffirming his participation and leading of this protest. The usual Omar Suleiman fanboys and Yaqeen bots followed suit immediately and started crying that I had exaggerated, that I had misrepresented, and that I was even a liar. One really sensitive person said that I was the absolute scum of the earth, excuse for a human. What I was really surprised about is that Omar Suleiman's more senior friends also jumped in to defend him. Care director Dawood Walid defended him. Imam Zaid Shakir also wrote a post. Yasser Qadi came out and wrote a post and said whoever criticizes Omar Suleiman is an armchair critic with zero qualifications. Sheikh Abu Isa from the UK also wrote a post calling me out personally, saying that I'm personally obsessed, that I'm causing fitna, that I've lost the plot. I responded to these attacks on my personal integrity by posting even more photos of this protest. I showed one picture of Omar Suleiman on his knees and standing above him these LGBT priestesses. I mean, just look at this picture. Those who have been desensitized by the amount of filth that these woke imams put out will say, so what? There's nothing wrong here, he's just kneeling. But those of you who still have some ghira for the deen of Allah will recognize the problem. The problem with the optics of a prominent imam on his knees, and standing above him are priests and rabbis wearing rainbow scarves, singing about love. What does being on your knees represent? Christians get on their knees to pray. But other than that, kneeling is a sign of humiliation and lowering yourself. So is it appropriate for an imam to be doing this? Do you know of any other prominent imam or scholar who would get on his knees while Christians and Jewish rabbis stand above him? Allah says in the Quran, وَلِلَّهِ الْعِزَّةُ وَلِرَسُولِهِ وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَلَكِنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. And to Allah belongs all izzah, honor, and to His messenger and to the believers, but the hypocrites do not know this. Is this izzah? Is getting on your knees izzah? But again, the fanboys were not convinced. So I had to drop another picture, this time showing Omar Suleiman hand in hand with prayers led by Jews, Christians, Buddhists, Hindus, and others. I asked Abu Isa and Yasser Qadi, is this acceptable in Islam? Can you please explain this? To which They didn't respond. They were completely silent. And yet the fanboys still argued that even this was acceptable. At this point, I began to wonder, will these fanboys justify anything that their beloved Omar is going to do, no matter how contrary to Islam, no matter how egregious? Well, inshallah, we're about to find out. I also want to say that I have invited Omar Suleiman in the past to talk with me about these issues, and that invitation still stands. If Omar Suleiman wants to come on Muslim Skeptic Live to talk to me publicly about his actions, he's more than welcome to do so. Omar Suleiman has written several essays and given several lectures for Yaqeen Institute to justify his allyship with LGBT supporters, with feminists, with the most liberal, progressive kuffar. He calls this faithful activism, a Sunnah framework. Now, we could discuss activism and allyship on a theoretical level, but theory can only get us so far. We need to actually see what these protests and what this allyship actually looks like. And what better protest for us to watch than this protest that Omar Suleiman, Yasir Qadhi, Abu Isa, and Imam Zaid Shakir just finished defending and praising in the strongest terms. If there's anything that's going to be Sunnah activism, then it's got to be this, because they just finished praising it. Fortunately for us, there's plenty of public online footage that has been viewed by millions of non-Muslims showing exactly what this protest was about. Let's watch some of this footage so we can see Omar Suleiman's Sunnah framework in action. So if you watch footage of this faithful protest, you'll notice that there is a lot of singing. They're basically constantly singing these kinds of gospel, spiritual songs.
We won't be silent anymore.